So I've been thinking about 37 Signals a lot since they launched a new calendar tool as part of their email service, Hey. Naturally, it got a lot of attention because when the makers of Basecamp do something new, people tend to take notice. And there's a lot of fun stuff to explore with the copy they've written related to the calendar on both the homepage and product page. But today I want to zoom out and focus on one word that gets a big spotlight in their copy despite the disdain that most copywriters have for it. I'm talking about the word we. We is one of those words I have to constantly nudge clients away from using in headlines throughout their website for the simple reason that customers are almost always 10 times more interested in themselves than they are your product, whether that means a problem they're trying to solve, a benefit they're hoping to unlock, or some combination of both. But there's a reason so many brands default to we language. Obviously, I think it just kind of feels natural to start a web page about your product by talking about your product or your company. But on top of that, everywhere you look, you probably see brands you love using we language, which brings me back to 37 Signals and their current homepage for Hey. This is the exact type of example people will bring up when I caution them against using we in a headline. 37 Signals does it? Are you saying they're wrong? Calm down, calm down. I'm not saying they're wrong. In fact, I think it's completely defensible for 37 Signals to use we in this context. And in this video, I'm going to show you why they're able to get away with it when the vast majority of companies wouldn't be able to. Okay, so let's look at this headline on 37 Signals homepage for Hey. We finally fixed your email and calendar. This goes against so many copywriting rules, right? It leads with we, there's more of an implied pain point than a specific one. There isn't really a benefit, there's just kind of a claim that something about your email and calendar was fixed, along with some unattributed social proof at the top. And yet I think this works for them in a way that it wouldn't for the vast majority of other brands. 37 Signals can get away with this because it's an example of what I like to call the earned we. Earned we? No, the earned we, as in they can use this we because they earned it. What does it mean to earn a we? There are 3 ingredients that go into it. We'll start with the obvious with number 1, devotion. Not only are they launching Hey Calendar to an eager audience of customers who already love their email product, they're also launching to customers of products like Basecamp who are likely to be interested at the very least in anything 37 Signals does. Basecamp has hundreds of thousands of paying customers and millions of individual users. That means there's already a critical mass of people who, at least to some extent, are interested in what 37 Signals is doing as a company. Number 2. And this is critical, they have a distinct point of view. If you've used 37 Signals software at any point, you've probably noticed it, even if only unconsciously. Their products are built with this kind of philosophy about work, collaboration, productivity, and creativity baked into every aspect of the product. But beyond that, they've also explicitly stated their philosophy in a variety of memorable and far-reaching ways over the years, including publishing numerous books like Rework and Remote, which were New York Times bestsellers. So when 37 Signals says, we fixed your email and calendar, it's not just them saying, if you like our other products, you'll like this. They're also communicating that a certain philosophy has been applied to this old, frustrating technology that you've been using for years and years. And this brings us to ingredient number 3, a larger narrative. So if we look closer at the headline and the supporting copy underneath it as a whole, you've got the we finally fixed your email and calendar headline, but then you've got this text. Gmail, Outlook, and Apple got complacent and took their eye off the ball. Then along came Hey. It's written like a movie teaser, like there's a natural narrative structure to it. You can kind of even see the movie poster for this, right? If you close your eyes and imagine it. They've set this up like a classic David and Goliath story. You've got Google, Microsoft, and Apple as the faceless corporate behemoths, and Hey is the comparatively tiny, scrappy underdog. Now, this works here not just because 37 Signals is smaller than those 3 companies, but also because 37 Signals has been cultivating this underdog image for years. They've written a ton about how they've intentionally kept the company small, privately held, and nimble, even as their customer base has grown explosively since founding the company. There's a link that you can see here on the Basecamp homepage to email CEO Jason Fried directly. There's even a page on the Basecamp website that's literally basecamp.com/underdogs. As you can see here. This is all part of the brand that 37 Signals has spent decades spreading awareness of. And that's who this above the fold section is written for. Brand aware customers. The people whose ears perk up when 37 Signals says we. While that pool of brand aware customers is relatively large, it's still probably just a fraction of the total addressable market of email and calendar users. If 37 Signals gets to a point where they want to more aggressively market to people who aren't already brand aware, they can just shift the page away from we focus language. You can already see this if you go to the current Basecamp homepage, for example, which is clearly leading with pain points and benefits, which makes sense given that at this stage of the product, they're likely trying to market it to people beyond just those who are already aware of them primarily. So, 3 questions to ask if you find yourself staring at a we-focused headline on your website. Number 1, do you have lots of brand-aware customers? Number 2, do those brand-aware customers absolutely love your brand? And number 3, is the brand-aware segment of customers the target audience for whatever page you're making in the first place? Or are you hoping to reach less aware people? If your answer is yes to all 3, then we language might be passable. Now, like every other quote-unquote copywriting rule, there can be exceptions, particularly if you're writing something like an about page where first-person language can be a little bit more acceptable in the right context. But now you have a general framework to run your we-focused headlines through. Is it an earned we? If not, it's a good idea to take another pass at it.